Hey Lions, it's Miss A here, and it's Thursday, art day, best day of the week. I hope y'all have had a great past few weeks, and I hope you enjoyed the snow and all the beautiful winter weather that we had. It was very cold, but we're back and we are ready to roll. So this week's lesson is going to continue from us watching the video about Mr. Monet and his wonderful artwork, and we're going to focus on his bridge and his water lilies that were in his garden. Remember, he said that he sold enough paintings and he finally was able to kind of settle down and buy a house for his family, and he built this wonderful garden that he continued to paint pictures of as he got older and older and older, and they're some of his most famous paintings still today. And I thought it would be fun to kind of incorporate the lily pads and the water lilies into a project. So we're going to be creating his bridge, and we are going to be talking today about variety. Variety being that we can have a variety of colors, which means that we have a lot of different colors. They may be the same color, but a lot of different shades and tints and hues and all kinds of fun things. But variety could also be texture. So we want to create a texture with our garden, and we don't want it to just all be one texture, because then you can't tell what is what. And the cool thing about the Impressionists, that group that Mr. Monet was part of, is that they painted really quickly. They wanted you to capture their artwork in the moment, and their brushes and their brush strokes were fast, and there was a lot of texture. You could tell the waves, and you could tell the greenery and the shrubs and the trees. You could be there. It was like you were in the moment. You could see it, you could feel it. Now we want that texture, because again, texture means that you can feel something, how something feels. Like this feels really soft. We also want to create texture on our picture to kind of break up the picture and make sure certain things stand out. You're going to see that today, and those are going to be really important. And in the follow along, you can add your own twist to it as well if you'd like, or you can just follow along with me. Now I did do a voiceover. I tried a voiceover where I filmed first and then recorded my voice over, the filming. So bear with me. It does go pretty quickly, so please don't hesitate to stop. Pause it at any time because I'm going fast. Part of it is also because Mr. Monet and in the Impressionists, they painted quickly. So not everything was super detailed and super focused and perfect. It was kind of quick. So we're going kind of quick. Now, again, don't be afraid to stop and pause the video. Just go with the flow. Stop when you need to, catch up. But they end up looking really cool. We are making our bridges. We're going to add some 3D elements next week when we also do the watercolor portion. We are just doing the crayon and adding the different variety of plants and colors. So I'm excited for this lesson. It's really fun and I really enjoy it. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy spring break. I won't see you guys until not next Thursday, but the Thursday after. So have a restful break, enjoy time with your family, go outside and soak up the sun, because I'm hoping the weather will stay really nice. But enjoy this lesson, my friends. I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. I am trying a voiceover today, so we're gonna see how this goes. I have a brown crayon today, and I've also got some different green crayons. That's what you're gonna need. A bunch of different colors. If you don't have a bunch of greens, just a few will work. Your paper is going to be in a vertical stance. I can't speak. And then we're going to be creating two curves today, okay? And these two curves are going to be our bridge. Just like Mr. Monet's garden, he has those bridges. And I am going to color in this bridge a little bit. I'm going to fill it in so it's a little bit thicker on each side. And the reason we're using crayon for this one project is because we want to create a watercolor resist, because wax and water don't mix, and we want that crayon to really stand out. So you can see I'm kind of just coloring this in as I go. Now you can pause at any time if you need it. You are going to, next you're going to take your fingers and walk across the bridge. And we're going to draw some branches on our paper. They look kind of like cracks, but they're going to be little branches. And we're going to add our trees at the top. Now, our trees are going to be in a variety. We have a variety of colors, which means we have a lot of different greens. And we're going to add a variety of different plants with different textures. So this first one we're going to do is just kind of wiggly lines down. You're going to see it goes a little bit past the bridge. Now, again, pause at any time. I am going pretty quickly. I just wanted to try out this voiceover to see if it's easier to film and then talk. But we're going to make this plant look like hair. I call it a hair plant whenever I do this project. And I'm just kind of doing some squiggles, switching up my colors as best as I can. And kind of just blending them in together and kind of filling up as much white space as I can. And you're going to see I'm just doing these kind of squiggle marks. And then you can see it looks great. There you go. Now this next one is going to be swirls. And you're going to see that. I'm going to make just these big swirl shapes all along this tree branch and all the way down to the bridge. And it's going to continue down here in a little bit, but we're going to stop there for now, just on the big tree. Now I'm going to take my next green and I'm going to overlap my colors. Just like you can see that, I'm just kind of making them look kind of mixed in. We're trying to mix in these colors, these swirls. I think I was talking to somebody right here, so give me just a moment. And here we go. Going to continue with my light green, my yellow green here. And you can see that I really, my swirls aren't perfect. My little lines aren't perfect because our Impressionists, they didn't do everything super detailed and super perfect. So it's okay if it's not super perfect. This next tree, I did ovals. I took my colors and I made these little ovals to look like leaves. Again, I don't need them to be perfect size. I don't need them to be perfect ovals. They can be circles, they can be ovals, whatever you'd like. Now I'm going to mix up my colors here. And I'm going to let them kind of just go around randomly. Some of my greens kind of look the same. And the thing we're going to do here in just a minute, you're going to see is that you'll see my finger here in a minute kind of show you, but we are going to watercolor the top part with green to kind of fill in all those white spaces with a green base so that it doesn't look unfinished. We want it to look complete. So right here, I'm going to show you, you can see, as someone hands me their artwork, you can see that I have a lot of white space up at the top, especially where that middle plant hangs, and we're going to fill that in. But right here, in a minute, we're going to add the parts on the bottom. Oh, we're going right into it. So down below the bridge, you're going to see that I'm going to add more swirls. You're going to switch up your colors again. Now this is the other side of the pond. The pond's going to be right down the middle, which is going to have the lily pads and the water lilies. And I'm just kind of creating greenery and plants on the side of the pond. And again, I'm doing just random colors. And again, please feel free to pause at any point because I know I'm going pretty quickly. Now this side, I am going to kind of just take my color and I'm going to just kind of make these loop-de-loop lines and fill in just the space. And you can kind of do it however. If you have another idea of wanting to fill in these trees, because again, we're talking about variety and we're talking about how you can have a variety of things and how you can use a variety of different art materials. So like we're using watercolor and a crayon, and then you know, we're also adding variety to our picture with a variety of colors and a variety of plants and textures. So you get creative if you'd like, and if there's a certain plant that you want to draw, go for it. So I'm going to bring some of that plant, either one, the top one or the bottom one, into the bridge a little bit. Because the bridge, I mean, it does have holes through it when you're walking across. So you got to think, like, when you look at a bridge and you look through it, you can see through the bridge to see the other plants. I am adding some lily pads. Now, lily pads can be any oval shape, circle shape, even this Pac-Man shape, if you've ever played Pac-Man before. If you haven't, wow, I'm aging myself, but I know your parents know what it is. But this Pac-Man shape is super important. We're not going to color them in just yet. Oh, we are coloring them in. Wow, guys, oh my goodness, I filmed this like 3 days ago and I already forgot. But we are coloring them in with different greens. You don't have to color them in yet if you don't want to. But man, am I wrong. So you can see here that I made all those different ovals, all those different circles, and some of those Pac-Man shapes. And we're going to add some color to the top of them to look like the flowers, like the water lily flowers. Oh, I got a little out of the line there. That's okay, though. I'll fix it. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, the Impressionists were very quick and fast, and they made their paintings and their drawings super quick. They wanted people to see it in the moment. It was okay if it wasn't super perfect. Now, here's what it'll look like when it is done. And you can see that I have the watercolor in the middle and the different lily pads all around. You can also see there's the watercolor of the green in the background like I talked about before to fill in that green space. But the blue is super important, and we're going to talk about that next week. But you can see all the color on the lily pads that we're going to add right now. On my lily pads, I'm going to use orange, red, pink, purple, yellow. You're welcome to use any of those. And I'm just kind of doing a quick little scribble on the top because, again, expression, you know, the Expressionists, they didn't make every single petal, every single detail. It was more quick and fast. So we're just getting the idea of what is there, and that would be the lily pads. I'm going to add a few more in here with just some quick little ovals just to kind of fill in some space because usually when a pond has lily pads, there's a lot. So I don't want to make them too spaced out. So I've added some there. Now here again is what it looks like when it's done. I want you guys to take your time. Don't rush too much, but just know it doesn't have to be perfect. Snap a pic and upload to Schoology. Bye guys.